This episode has been brought to you by Fornos Law Firm, devoted to optimizing your legal results at fornoslaw.com.
Welcome to Push Rim, where we talk about disability news, culture, interviews, and more. I'm Ray Pizarro.
I'm Richard Bell.
We'd like to thank our audience once again for being with us. Today on the show, we have an exclusive for you guys today, a good friend of ours and a very active and just a beautiful person surrounded in the disabled community. You guys know her from a very popular show, The Push Girls. She's a model. She also is an ambassador for the Reef Foundation, life coach, disability advocate. She's also a dedicated philanthropist. I mean, she's a spokesmodel for Tylight. The list goes on and on. This girl does it all. We like to say hello to Angela Rockwood.
Hello, you guys.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but we finally got you here in the Push Rim studio with Rich and, you know, our whole community to share a little bit about your projects and all the wonderful things you're doing out there.
Yeah, so let's get it kicked off by asking you, how did you get injured, and how was your recovery? How's that going?
Well, I'm faking this all, so no, I'm kidding. I was injured. Oh my gosh, let's go back. So 2001, 1 week before 9/11. So it was Labor Day weekend, and I was with two of my bridesmaids, and we basically were up in San Fran, and I was preparing my wedding because my maid of honor was lives in San Jose. And basically, I don't want to get the whole story because, you know, I know we're on a time crunch here, but so basically, we're returning from San Fran, coming back to LA on the I-5, and I was in the back seat of the car, and, you know, my girlfriend was driving, and then I have my other girlfriend, Twee Trang, who, it's kind of ironic because I just saw a thing today from one of our friends, Leia, was showing me the celebrities that you didn't know passed away, and on it was also Paul Walker, but Twee Trang, she was a Power Ranger. So anyways, I was in the back seat, and there was no one involved in the incident. We were just going around a turn, and there was some loose gravel, so we drifted off to the side. We hit the little grooves, the little bumps, and then my girl had overcorrected the car, and when she overcorrected, the force pulled us all the way to the far right of the road, and we started to fishtail. And at that moment, I just knew, and I put my head down, and I braced the back of the seat, and I just started to pray, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. When the car spun around, the back of the car hit the back of the mountain. That's what pushed me forward. So the top of my head hit the back of the seat, and it had compressed and shattered the C4, C5 vertebrae, severed the cord, the car flipped like 4 or 5 times. I was catapulted about 35 feet in the air, flying like an angelic goddess, landed on my head, and saw the white light, came back. I was like, oh no, I can't go. And I know the next day, the doctors, I had to do like a major blood transfusion. When I woke up in the hospital, the doctors just told my ex-husband and my dad, be happy she's alive. She is classified now as a quadriplegic, C4, C5 complete, has 3 to 5% chance of feeling or moving anything from the neck down. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, whatever. You know, I'm here. I'm still alive. And let's just do this. And
Right.
that was it. Yeah.
And that's when you started meeting a lot of our friends too, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
I was in the intensive care unit for 9 days because remember, it was during 9/11.
Oh,
So the whole
yeah.
ambulance thing, things like that, it was like really difficult to transfer to other facilities. I ended up being transferred to Rancho Los Amigos. And the
Okay.
first day that I arrived there, I met Ati. Yeah,
Oh,
Ati,
cool.
Ati Angel.
So that's where you guys initially met up. Was she an inpatient at that time as well? Or?
Ati at the time, she was going around to the different rooms and she was speaking to the newly injured
Gotcha.
patients and stuff. So she came in and she introduced herself because someone had told her, oh my God, you have to meet this girl. She reminds me of you and And so she came in and it was like love at first sight. We instantly connected. And then about a week and a half or 2 weeks later, she had a show that she had at the hospital where she freaking almost caught the hospital on fire. She set the fire alarms off, everything. Yeah, you know Ati.
Oh, of course.
And we lost contact with each other, but then we reconnected about 3 years later.
Okay.
How was therapy for you when you were in rehab? How long was that session for?
I stayed there for 3 months.
Oh wow.
And it
Me
was
too.
cool. Yeah, I was
Rancho
there
for
at
3
Rancho for
months.
3 months.
Yeah.
For about, I remember I arrived there September 14. And I remember 3 days after that, I threw a surprise birthday party for my ex-husband there.
Okay.
And then they kicked me out like December 12, I think it was. December 7 or December 12, something like that. But it
So-
was cool. Rehab was cool.
Yeah.
It was interesting because I was known as like the angel of Rancho because it was weird. I was instantly just positive after my injury because a lot of people would ask me like, "Oh, did you deal with depression or whatever?" And I didn't, which was weird. I say the aliens wired me differently, but it was just very like surreal and macabre because I remember always rolling by the gym area and everybody would just be there like working out, kind of stunned and just, of course you're going to be shocked because you've just been paralyzed. And every morning I'd run by there and be like, "Good morning!" And just like wake everybody up and get everyone going and
Help break the
so,
monotony
yeah,
up, right?
Exactly. So it was cool. I liked Rancho. They're cool.
Good.
I go back every now and then and say hi to the nurses and the folks that like helped me out and everything.
So after leaving the hospital and getting home and stabilized, what were the first like projects or things you got into right away? I mean, there's a ton of them, I'm sure, but initially what got you going and getting you back?
First, well, basically, just so that you know, before my accident, I was a martial artist, a runner. I was just an athlete. So when I got injured, I basically was like, all right, let's do this. I was ready to start working. And my ex-husband said, no, 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 no. He's like, take a step back. He's like, you need to start like doing therapy. You need to start thinking about healing and everything. So I was like, what? And I was like a gym rat. I would spend like 3 hours in the gym and then just do everything else and take on the world before my accident. So I had to rethink and just reassess everything. So when I got home, I spent a year doing rehab at home with a company that was called Rehab Without Walls.
Oh yeah, I had them too.
Yeah, so I did them. And then, of course, the traditional therapy, like they just basically prepare you for life in a wheelchair. And so I was like, I gotta continue moving. And then I ended up finding out another facility down in San Diego, Project Walk. So I ended up doing that. I ended up working out for a good 4 years, just dedicating my life to just working out, healing, and training before I actually started to balance my life back out again.
Right.
And start just synergizing everything back into my life as of everyday normal things, as of going out, hanging out, and getting back to work and stuff. Because I didn't know that an individual could model or act sitting in a wheelchair until 3.5, 4 years after I went to a Christopher Reeve event. And I met a friend of ours. I don't know if you know Toby.
Yeah,
Tobias
of course.
Forrest.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
So I was at
Rock star.
rock star, total
Rock
rock
star
star. I'm like
Toby.
one of his groupies.
Yes.
So he was at a Reeve event, and I remember he just turned to me and was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I used to model and act." He's like, "What do you mean used to?" He's like, "You can still model and
Right.
act." Yeah. So Toby was the one that introduced me back into acting.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I have to thank him.
He's doing big things too right now.
Yes.
So proud
I
of
just
him.
found out I read on Facebook, I think he like just wrote a script or a play or something, and he'll be flying out of town and
He's
doing
doing.
that or
He's
something like
always
that.
doing
Yeah.
big things and
Yeah.
has good connections with
Yeah.
people. Very inspirational too.
Yeah.
You see a guy with challenges, and I'm like, how can you belt out those notes as a quadriplegic? I mean, what's squeezing your diaphragm so hard that he's yelling at the mic?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he's
know.
going after it, and I'm like, I can't even whistle, and he's over here, yeah, rock on, And I'm like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
What
he
is
does
he-
it.
what is he made out of, Rich?
That's
don't know.
Toby. My little Toby he used to live with me in the back of my guest house. He's
Okay.
cool, yeah.
So when did you guys start talking about push girls?
Push girls. So just so you guys know, which is kind of weird, I'm going to take it in the left field here. When I was in the hospital after I was injured at the rehab facility in San Luis Obispo, the moment that I woke up and I looked up at that ceiling, because of course we're all like, we wake up with, we're laying in
Yeah.
bed and we open our eyes and we look up at the ceiling and we're like, okay, what the hell's going on in our life? But the moment I like woke up and I looked up at the ceiling, it was like deja vu. So those 9 days that I was in that hospital, it was like I'd been there before. And I got this flash that went before me. And I know it sounds all crazy and everything, but my dad, who's from Tampa, Florida, he sat by my bedside and he wrote word for word. Like I basically just got this picture, like this vision of everything that I was going to accomplish and why this happened to me and everything. So my father sat by my bedside and he wrote word for word what I saw. And I could tell you I'm living it till this day. So basically, when I reconnected with Ati, let me rewind. So after I was injured, there was the 3 years, I met Ati in the hospital. And then 3 years after that, I was on this journey being in a wheelchair. And I met individuals from all walks of life, from whether they were paralyzed or dealing with losing breast from breast cancer or going through a divorce, whatever. And all these folks would come up to me and stuff, and they would talk about their life or whatever. And so I started to realize, the one thing I started to realize is human beings in general, when they go through a catastrophic event, they lose themselves from within. And it started to make me realize something where it saddened me from within, and also witnessing women in wheelchairs, completely just let themselves go and not caring how they look, wearing sweats and just not putting makeup on, whatever, whatnot. And so I started to realize, even from the moment I woke up, I just knew, I was like, okay, this is the big bang I've been waiting for. This is a way I'm going to be that voice. I'm going to be that advocate. And I have to do something here. I just knew. So when I reunited with Ati, I instantly told her, I said, we need to do something. I said, I want to create a team, women warriors, to just remind others out there that this is life. Whatever happens, whatever obstacle you have to face, you're going to get through it. And so we first started, it was Ati, myself, and of course I met Mia at my house in an acting class that I used to hold there. At the first I called the group Charlie's Angels. And then after that I met Tiffany, and Tiffany became a part of it. And then I don't know if the folks know, but so I created and I produced the show. And so it wasn't until I believe 7.5, 8 years later, because I told the girls, I said, if you guys want to do some stuff with me, I'm going to tell you right now that, I want to do some big things. And then they're like, okay. So finally, when I finally met the producer, who was the executive producer of Fear Factor and American Gladiator, he came to me and I called the girls up and I said, remember I said I want to do some big things? And they're like, yeah. I was like, okay, so I want to do a show. Are you guys down for it? And they're like, yeah. So that's how it pretty much started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
So it was a long journey. It just didn't happen overnight.
No,
Yeah.
it's good that you paint the picture and the timeline, of how stuff evolves and how an idea comes into fruition. And all of a sudden the momentum, the gears start turning and you see the possibilities, right? And you guys are probably feeding off each other's positivity, right?
No, definitely.
And bringing each other up and one's down. And
no, definitely. That's something that I always tell people that, you think the common denominator is our wheelchair, but it's not. It's our spirit and just how we attack things and overcome and just manifest the positivity.
Right. So we'll continue, but first we're going to take a short break, and first a word from our sponsors. So as far as Charlie's Angels goes, like the transition to the Push Girls,
Charlie's Angels.
I'm sorry,
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, Charlie's Angels.
That's right. What did you get out of the whole TV series? I mean, once that came into to an end, how many series? I mean, was it 2 seasons or?
Seasons. Yeah, we had 2. Robert Redford bought 2. The first year he bought 14 episodes, and then the second year he bought 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we sold it, I mean, we went around, we pitched it, we went to Sundance because we were thinking of what network is bold enough to think outside the box. Because let me tell you guys, when we try to sell the show, it's like everybody was afraid. They're like, what are we going to do with women in wheelchairs? Like, who's going to watch that? And so it was huge. And when they saw our reel, you know, they were like, okay, wow, you know, they fell in love with us and everything. But what we got out of the show basically is, you know, I was able to manifest exactly what I wanted, was just to reach out to the masses and let them know that this can happen to anyone, to you instantly within a second, whether it's a car accident or whether it's an accident, in a sense of, you know, with like Mia, she had an AVM. And just regardless of whatever you're going through in your life, you can get through it. And just because everyone's dealing with something difficult doesn't mean you can't see the brighter side of things that make your life a little better, in a sense.
Right.
So basically, you know, the show started off, it was supposed to be about me, how I can't sit still. They were going to call it Can't Sit Still, but I told the executive producer, I said, the show is not about me. It's about all those women, all those individuals out there who are just getting through life, and they need to see this. And so I believe we made history in a sense. We opened a lot of doors, and we educated, and we fade some of the ignorance, and brought some,
I believe so too.
juice to the table.
Definitely pioneers, you know, and that's something that gradually we're getting there one step at a time. Key people are getting put into positions where they can make a huge impact on the disabled community, like yourself. And, you know, all of us have a little piece of nuggets that we throw out at people. And once, you know, sometimes there's going to be, unfortunately, a celebrity, a big name out there that gets injured. And, you know, the cause gets multiplied, right? It gets more momentum, more eyes, more research, more attention. And that's what we're all kind of in it for, right? To let them know there is life after injury. It doesn't stop because we broke our necks or we don't have an arm or whatever it might be, right?
No, exactly. That was just like in the hospital. I mean, friends would come in and they were like all traumatized and horrified. I'm like, you guys, I'm still Angela. It's like, even though I can't sashay down a runway, I'm still the same spirit, if anything stronger, and you're still the same human being within.
No, I've seen you. Yeah. I've seen you work a runway. So
when? You're crazy. On my video, yeah, in a sense.
Do your thing.
And that was the thing. That was what's important for me, is because this happened to me, I instantly knew that, because at the time I was paralyzed from the neck down, I did control everything with my mouth. So when my voice started to come back, I said, well, if I still just have my voice, well, then that's it. I'm just going to use that. And that was something that I did write in the journal, that I was going to be that voice in the crowd where people were not going to be able to speak.
And what are things you're a part of right now that you're working on or that you're actively doing that you could share with our community?
Well, I did, when I did Push Girls, you know, that took a lot of our time. So I checked out of the whole modeling scene. So I am going to jump back into the modeling scene again, and I'm going to give it about 2.5, 3 years. And I just want to open doors up just to educate more, because we are the consumers, and they need to see that beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, and everything. And jumping back into the acting, and because, you know, I took a huge break, about 1.5 years, but besides that, just producing more things here and there, in a sense of, I want to get another show out there. And I am doing another, it's not going to be Push Girls. It's kind of like the spin-off, no pun intended, with Mia and Ati and myself.
I love that, spin-off.
Yeah, spin-off. Kind of Push Girls is kind of taking it back to before Push Girls, where we were before Push Girls, and the real story of what we really wanted to capture and what we really wanted to show out there. And then just on the side, like, you know, I'm still working with the Reeve Foundation. I'm still an ambassador for them, but I'm also working very closely with Global Mobility, which is an amazing organization. They go all over the world, and they give wheelchairs to third world countries, and just came back from Vietnam.
Awesome.
Just a few months back, we went there. And at the moment, I'm a proud and very honored to be an honorary commander of Edwards Air Force Base. So I've been working very close and tight last year, 2015, and they asked me to be a commander this year. So I'm excited about
Congratulations.
that. Thank you.
That's awesome. One of our guys wanted me to ask you about the vagina.
The vagina,
what's up with that?
vagina.
What's
Well, you
up with
can't
that?
just say it like that. One of my guys wanted to ask about the vagina. People are not going to know. The
I know.
V.
We might have to let Angela clarify
Yeah,
that for
so
us.
basically one of your guys was like checking out my Facebook and saw that I was involved 2 weeks ago in the vagina monologues, which for those who don't know about the vagina monologues, Eve Ensler, she has her show of the vagina monologues every year. And so my dear, beautiful friend Sheena Metal has the vagina monologues at the Atwater Theater Village every year. And basically she puts up the production and invites a bunch of actors and actresses, all walks of life, to come in and basically showcase the vagina monologues. And I did it last year with Sheena, and I did it this year. But when I first did it was 8 years ago at the Aratani Theater. And basically what it is all the proceeds that come in, they basically just donate it to a women's shelter for those that have been battered or raped. And so it's for a great cause.
Awesome
So,
cause, yeah.
So we talk about vaginas and nannies and punanis and
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So our boys out there that were curious, now you know.
Now you know. So
Yeah.
so if you go on my Facebook, you will see. Last year I did the monologue is the reclaiming the word cunt, which was very difficult for me to do, but I did it successfully. And this year
Okay.
was my short skirt, so it was a little fun. It was fun. I had fun with it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So for the friend who wanted to know about the vagina, there you go.
There it
There you go.
is. And you could always, check the Facebook and get more detailed info and
Yeah.
websites and all that fun stuff. But anything in the future, upcoming, any foresight that Angela could kind of hint at or maybe disclose a little bit to keep people...
I'm in the year. I mean, the goal is like to start a family and to have a baby, but we'll see. Because if I'm going to jump back into the modeling and everything,
Okay.
But I mean, pretty much right now, the main focus right now in my life is just jumping back into the industry again because I took a long break, and then now my passion is speaking,
Okay.
and I'm getting out there and speaking about just living in the moment and being positive, but more so about distracted driving. Because the incident that I was in, I mean, even though cell phones, we didn't have cell phones back then, but it was a distracted driving incident. And so it's a huge thing. I mean, 431,000 individuals are injured a year just from distracted driving, whether it's using the freaking cell phone to drinking, to eating, to putting on makeup, whatever it is. It's a huge, huge thing that needs to be touched on. And so that's something that I'm passionately jumping into.
That's a great cause. Yeah, we
To
know a
speak
couple
about.
of people that actually had those type of injuries,
Yeah.
just distractions, either radio too loud, their friends yelling in their ear,
Yeah.
glancing down at, traffic conditions, and then they look up. It only takes a split second, right?
Yep. And that's all it was. It was like I said, no car was involved or anything. We were going around a turn and, it was like you have your one hand on the wheel and you're fumbling through CDs and you're looking. And it's that moment you look down and you just don't pay attention. All it takes is 1 second. So I'm really passionate to speak about that and save some lives because people are not responsible out there.
No, wake up, people.
Yes,
Be safe.
please.
Safety first, and then do all the crazy
It's
stuff
not
when you're
worth
at home.
it. I know we don't have a lot of time and everyone wants to multitask in the car, but it really is not worth it to live a life just,
Yeah, we tell people like all this technology that's in front of us now, it's so addictive that we need almost some kind of therapy to just get off of this stuff. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I find myself grabbing my phone and don't know what the heck I grabbed it for, and I'm sipping through them. Why am I sipping through my phone again?
unless you're like addicted to the freaking games in there. Like now, oh my God, I'm addicted to this one game. I keep grabbing my phone. I got to build my village. I have to buy more coins. I have to.
Yeah, it gets crazy, but that'll be another segment, technology segment we bring in. But we want to do a little shotgun round with you and just pick your brain on what Angela likes. So we'll start off by saying, what is your favorite movie of all time, if you have one?
The Outsiders.
Gotcha. Favorite a dinner or dish to eat?
Oh my God, the crab at Crustaceans in Beverly Hills.
Oh wow,
That's on the like
that's
expensive
fancy.
side, fancy schmancy. If we go on the pole side, would be pho. There's a pho restaurant.
Oh, front
if
of
you-
house.
huh?
FOH.
Yeah, PHO.
Oh.
I'd-
Oh
I-
no, PHO. That's
what-
over. Oh, front of house is a new one downtown.
I'm a foodie, so I love food. So
Oh, me too.
I can go from the mama papa hole in the walls
Yeah.
to like expensive foo. But the moment you said what's my favorite, I think
Yeah.
of the crab and at crustaceans.
So
But
that's a finger licking good dish for you.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good deal. Favorite dessert then? We'll go.
tiramisu or chocolate. Anything with chocolate or tiramisu.
You got any for a Rich? Any other thing?
Just throw it at
I
me.
mean,
Come
well,
on, Rich.
Yeah, come on,
Huh?
Rich. What do you think, Angela?
Don't be shy.
Something that.
Favorite movie of all time?
Oh wait, I have one.
What?
Favorite club you go to?
Oh, the Abbey.
Of course.
Yeah. The Abbey. I
Oh.
don't go to straight clubs. I go to the Abbey because you go there, the music's awesome, and the guys don't mess with you because they're all gay.
Okay.
I'm a big
They mess
fag
with me
hag.
though.
Yeah, they mess with you. Well, you get massages.
Yeah,
I took
I got
Richard with me to the Abbey.
Yeah, I got a glorious massage.
But you didn't
Okay.
complain when you're like, oh.
Careful
okay,
with
you
that
know.
glorious.
Okay. What else? Come on.
Favorite movie of all time?
It was of
Well,
all time. Well, I said The Outsiders. I mean, when I was little,
The Outsiders?
yeah, I liked The Wizard of Oz, The Outsiders, but of all time, God, that's hard. I like Baraka. There's no dialogue. It's just all visual.
Favorite musical artist?
Oh
I
gosh,
have one for you too.
that's hard. I'm a little rocker. But
Okay, Stuck in the Island, and you had one album or
that I have to
artist
listen
play.
to all the time. When you said
Ooh.
artists, I thought of Pat Benatar, then I thought of Tina Turner, but then if I was stuck on an island and I had to listen,
I Will Survive.
no. Well, who would I listen to all the time? My gosh, that's hard. It would have to be
Oh, my
rock
goodness.
or. You have to come back to me on that one. There's so
Okay,
many
I will.
amazing artists out
I
there,
know.
right? You can't pinpoint one.
That is.
That's hard. Who would I live with? For
What
the
are you
rest of my life?
listening to these days?
Right now, I just throw my Pandora on.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I just let it play.
basically.
But Phil Collins, as
Music
crazy as that
streaming.
sounds,
Okay.
yeah. If I'm doing makeup, it's Samantha James because it's like, like pumped up music. If it's just chill music, because I like to work and have this ambiance in the background, not too much craziness, just so I could focus.
Okay.
So Phil Collins and everything that's on it. What are you going to say,
Cool.
Richard?
No, I was gonna ask you, where's the nicest place Stefano has taken you?
That he's taken me
Mm-hmm.
to San Diego to pet the little baby penguin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's one of them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. For those that don't know who Stefano is, my fiance.
There it is.
Yes.
So sorry, guys. You guys are too late. Too late to the party. Well, as we wrap up here, we wanna thank Angela so much for stopping by. We need to have you back once you find time in your busy schedule and give us updates.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you and see how the modeling goes and all that. Because you're inspiring people all the time, and guys, girls, people that are not injured. You know what I mean? They always tune in and find a way to say, "Wow, this girl's doing it. What's holding me back?" Right?
Exactly.
And that's always fun to do. Where can people find you on the social medias? Of course.
I'm actively, when I say actively, I'm not kidding. I'm actively on Instagram. So if you go
Oh,
to
heck
Angela
yeah.
Rockwood _official, you will find me there. If you even write me or message me there, I will message you back. I have my Angela Rockwood Facebook, but then I also have my own private one. So I'm rarely on Facebook nowadays. I'm more on Instagram. And then, of course, I have my website, did I say 4 W's in there? www.angelarockwood.com.
Perfect.
Rockwood, not Rockwell
Yeah.
as the artist, but Rockwood.
You got to check her website. Beautiful website. I mean, tons of information and just beautiful like portraits of her just like being who she is, and $1 million smiles and some sexy ones in there too. Wow.
We have to update it. I did that I think 3 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
No, 3 years ago. Yeah.
Still dope.
that's right.
Still dope.
Yeah. So, Rich, you want to
So,
close her down?
well, you know how to find us because you're watching us.
Yay!
But to find all the stuff we're involved in, please visit us at www.pushfrom.org. And also stay tuned because we have our yearly fundraiser coming up on June 18th. So hope to see y'all there.
Yeah, if not, you could like us on Facebook. We also put updates and events there, and you could just like us there and stay tuned. And we're always putting all these videos up on all our medias, and hopefully you guys will follow us and continue to support our community. Once again, thanks a lot, Angela.
Thank you,
and
guys.
yeah,
Thank you, Pushroom.
thank you. And we'll catch you next time.
Thank
All right.
you.
All
See
right.
you later.
Goodbye. Yeah.
Bye.
Whoop, whoop.
We want to thank Maker City LA for allowing us the opportunity to create these podcasts. For more information, visit them at makercityla.com.